Hey everybody, Unstable Gamer here, and welcome back to Marvel Realm of Champions. We have the first week of Grave of Celestials behind us, and we're going into week 2 of part 1, and then we have part 2 coming up. So in this video, we're going to take a look at everything you need to know about both parts as far as what we know right now. But first, before we jump into that, if you're just now finding this channel and you want to stay up to date with this and other games, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out. All right, and welcome back. Just a quick reminder, all the links to my social media are in the description below, so definitely check that out. I am working on building up the community on my Discord as well. The link is down there also. So let's go ahead and just jump right into this. First, we're going to take a look at a couple different things. We're going to take a look at quests, then we're going to take a look at weapons, and then we're going to take a look at the schedule and look at what we can expect going into the next couple weeks. So first, quests. We do have world quests as an alliance quest. Pretty easy. All you have to do is complete normal and heroic with all three of specific heroes, which is going to be your Iron Legionnaire, your Web Warrior, and your Super Soldier. Complete those on both normal and heroic, and you'll max out around 1,600 points. Definitely do that for your alliance because there's a lot of good rewards that we get in here. We get gear, we get materials, we get all sorts of stuff, which is very, very cool. This event, I feel, is miles beyond Red Dawn and almost satisfies every concern that I had about Red Dawn and really gives me hope and excitement for what's to come in this game because it's awesome. All right, so this here, we're going to be going over these specifically, but I also put a video out about how to clear your Grave of Celestials, both normal and heroic. If you haven't seen that yet, or if you haven't completed it yet, I'll go ahead and link it up right over here, so you can go ahead and take a look at that. Very simple strategy, but it is cool that there is a strategy to this, and it's kind of MMO-esque in my opinion. I keep referring back to that, but you got tanks, you got DPS, you got roles, you got a little bit of strategy in there. So it gives me, again, hope and excitement about what's to come in this game because you can really create some complex strategies and things for events in this game, so I'm very excited for that. All right, so that was Alliance Quest, really quick. I mean, that's really the only one that I see as far as part 1. You go into your normal event quests here, and you can get these weapons. So you can get the new weapons, the ion or proton cannon, and the cyclone flail here. All you have to do is complete 15 onslaught objectives. We do have quite a bit of time to complete it. As you can see, we have 20 days left, so we've got just under 3 weeks. And all you got to do is complete these onslaught objectives, which is right here. And you're clearing the different waves of onslaught. And along the way, getting quite a few rewards here. Gear rewards, a lot of the Celestial Remnants, obviously very, very critical when upgrading your epic gear. So a lot of cool stuff. That 15th wave is very difficult to clear, but if you can do it, you can get these weapons free by the 3rd time around. 4th time around if you can't clear that 15th one, but you get up to it. So you gotta have that, and you also have these dailies. Pretty easy here. All you got to do is knock out opponents in the arena using specific champions, and then getting through any game mode without being knocked out. So I like the fact that they've added all these different quests. You have alliance quests, you have regular quests, and just these tentacles into this event. It's very, very cool. Now, we can go to the store and take a look at here. We got a bunch of offers that are coming in. So these two specifically here for $100 a piece US, then you can get a full set of epic gear for each one of these champions right here. They're spotlighting these ones because these are the champions with the new weapons. Obviously, we have regular stuff here, but a lot of stuff specific to Grave of the Sentinels, which is pretty cool. And then also down here, when you take a look at your gear crafting, it's not specific to Grave of the Celestials, but you do get a lot of gear shards by completing alliance quests. And part of that is those World Quest 1 where you get a lot. You get quite a bit of epic shards, so you can go in here and get some epic gear. So very cool stuff. I do like all the different things that you can do in here. All right, so that is it well, that is everything that we have right now. There's no reason to think that anything's going to change for the rest of this week, finishing up part 1. We do know, well, actually, I'll save that. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the schedule and see what's changing in part 2. All right, so I am on Marvel Realm of Champions Reddit page. If you don't have the link to this, I will put it in the description below as well. Lots of good information here. This is where we get all the updates. Now they're putting it on their actual official website as well, but there's a lot of information on Reddit also. So taking a look at this, we won't dive into it, but again, click on the link if you want to take a look at everything in here. We got a cool little story here. They're talking about defining world quests here and the difficulty of them and champion restrictions. But really what I want to talk about is this right here, what to expect. So Grave of the Celestials Part 1, that is what we're currently doing. That goes from February 22nd to February 26th. That is done. We are now going into the second part of it, which starts March 1st and goes until March 5th. And then you can see the different unlocks right here, right? So 350 battle rating for normal to go through that, and then 650 battle rating for heroic. Visible at 160. One thing to keep in mind here is it says 650 battle rating. It's not talking about power level. Power level for Epic is around 1100. Now, it also says in the game, it tells you the power level recommendation. I have completed it at around 900. I've grouped with somebody who is also at 900. And as long as you know the strategy, you can do it. And as long as you're built fairly well and you follow the strategy to a T, you can get through it. It's not a big deal. But when you start getting lower than that, I think it becomes much more difficult. What I would like to see going forward is I would like locks on this, because you are seeing 300 power level and 400 power level queuing up and getting into heroic, and honestly, it's a waste of time. So hopefully that's something that they can do a little bit later on. I think 900 is a good minimum for heroic, and then normal, I don't know, maybe leave the lock off on normal. I think the lock really needs to be specific to heroic, because otherwise it's a waste of time. You don't want to drop because you drop, you go out of the game, you come back into the game, it's just going to put you right back in there. So I think something there needs to be changed. But so that's the specific matchmaking here. So bots are in normal, but they are not in heroic. So that's why if you've jumped in there and you've tried to get a group and you can't, I mean, I've been in there and I've queued up for like 2 minutes, and just over 2 minutes, it'll boot you out because it's not going to give you any bots. So the game mode there is Stronghold, Restricted Champions. We got Iron Legionnaire, Super Soldier, Web Warrior. We know all of this, the Adaptoid information here, and the buffs. So buffs right here, Projectile Resistance, Melee Resistance, and Horseman's Call. Grave of Celestials Part 2. Now this is coming up in the coming weeks. So March 8th to the 12th is going to be that first week, and then March 15th to the 19th. We are going to still have the same thing here as far as unlocks for Grave of Celestials Part 2. Matchmaking is the same. The game mode changes, though. The game mode is going to be Onslaught rather than Stronghold, so something to keep in mind there. Restricted Champions, they're changing that up. So now it's going to be Storm, Hulk, and Black Panther, which is very cool. I'm really excited for that. And then your Adaptoids, these ones are the same as far as what we see up here in week 1. And then the buffs is Energy Resistance, Physical Resistance, and Hive Immunity. So if we take a look at the buffs down here, right here, or was it in here? So these are the buffs currently for this first week. So Projectile Resistance, Knights, Adaptoids, Hulk, Adaptoids, Champions take X damage, reduced protocol, blah, 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 blah. You can see that right here. This effect is broken when stunned or dealt high melee damage. So you definitely want to keep that in mind. 50% in normal and 85% in heroic. You want to make sure that you use your SP 1s through 3s effectively so you can do as much damage as possible and bring those mobs down as quickly as you can. This one right here, this effect is broken. This melee damage reduction here. This effect is broken when rooted or dealt high projectile or beam damage. So that's going to be specific to your Spidey and your Iron Legionnaire there. And again, you can see the percentages there. Horseman's Call right here. The Storm Adaptoid champions gain X% special 3 speed, charge speed, and are stunned for 1 second whenever they receive ability damage. So keep that in mind. Now going into the next week's one, we have Knight Adaptoids here, and Brute Adaptoids have X% of damage reduction, energy damage reduction. It's broken when stunned, bleeding, or dealt high physical damage. So your bleeding is going to be really specific to Black Panther. And then stunned, you're going to have with the Hulk. So the gauntlets, I think, are going to be really good in here. So that's pretty cool there. Physical resistance here. This effect is broken when chilled. So you're going to have Storm in there. Make sure to equip the the right weapon for this, right? So chilled and electrified are dealt high energy or area damage. So that is specific to your wand and your staff. And then your hive immunity there. So the Iron Legionnaire Adaptoid there, take X% less damage until all alloyed adaptoids are defeated. So something to keep in mind there. You want to make sure that you clear all allied adaptoids first, then attack Iron Legionnaire on this one so that he takes more damage, because you're going to be beating on him. Your mobs are going to be attacking you. See, this is what I'm talking about the strategy. They really put some very cool stuff in here. And again, I'm going to go back to my MMO roots. It just reminds me a lot of those kinds of things. And these are the types of things that you want to keep in mind, because this is what's going to give you the edge in battle every single time. So it's very, very cool, very exciting. And again, super excited for the future of this game and where this game is going, because we're only a couple months into it. And yes, Red Dawn, in my opinion, was really a letdown. But this here, I mean, this is a complete 180. It's a surprise, and I'm really, really excited for the future of this game. So there we go with that. Rewards here. So check this out. Grave of Celestials. Look at all these rewards right here. Again, definitely go in here and check this out. But it's telling you the objectives here, what the reward types are, and the reward quantities here. So you got some pretty cool stuff here. I have not seen part 2 yet. So here we go with that. It looks pretty similar. So what? 1, 2, 2, all those 2s. It looks like the reward quantities are exactly the same. And the reward types look exactly the same as well. So very similar from week 1 to week 2. So definitely take a look at this. Get to know what's coming up in week 2, because the more you know, the more successful you will be, and the more successful your alliance will be, and the more fun the game will be. All right, everybody, that is what I had for you today. Lots of cool stuff. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely leave a like and a subscribe. All right, everybody, take care, and I'll see you next time.